please rise as you're able for the pledge of allegiance.
Roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry, roll call.
Mayor Randy Burke.
Here.
Commissioner Ken Gaspar.
Here.
Commissioner Darren Davina.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, are there any issues with the agenda from the commissioners?
I move that we approve the agenda.
Call the roll, please.
Mayor Randy Burke.
Yes.
Commissioner Ken Gaspar.
Aye.
Commissioner Darren Davina.
All right, we're doing a little social distancing this morning. It's because I've got something that I don't want anyone else to have. So that's the reason for a little bit different adjustment. And I think the first item, which a lot of people are here for, is discussion of the charter review. And there are really two options here. Do we continue with the charter? And the second option, Commissioner Gaspar had submitted a white paper at the last working meeting on the 22nd of January. So if you've seen my video that I put out on Monday, I obviously think that we ought to go ahead with the charter. The charter does a lot for us, particularly in terms of giving us everything we can possibly get out of the Missouri Constitution. It's going to give us more flexibility to solve our own problems here. And it really is a way of the future. And we do have another option, which we're going to talk about here in a second. And that's to go to a council manager with a special election this November. So we will allow public comments on this item. It'll work just like a city council meeting. When you come up here, you got 3 minutes. And who's our timer today?
I'll keep the time.
Okay, so we'll kind of keep the time. And when your 3 minutes is up, Mickey will tell me and you'll hear this. Okay, that's your key. And if you got something to say, you ought to be able to say it in about 3 minutes. So get to your point. Again, be respectful of everyone up here. We're all just trying to do the best for what's for Monett.
Mr. Mayor, before we begin, may I have a few minutes?
I've still had a floor.
Approved.
All right. The other thing the charter does for us, and this is what I like about it the most, it's the fact that it really is a government of the people, by the people. And for those of you who have looked at the history of how the U.S. Constitution was made, everyone got represented for each one of the states. They came to the Constitutional Committee up in Philadelphia. They all hammered out agreement, and then they went back out and it was another vote of the people. That's exactly what the charter does, and it's the people of Monett that get to decide what their government looks like. And that's what I like about the most. All right, I yield, go ahead.
Thank you. So I've learned that a video had been posted on Facebook regarding the city's recent attempt to establish Monett as a home rule city through a charter. Once again, I have been misquoted, mischaracterized, and misunderstood. This message stated that I wanted to abandon seeking a charter. This is false. It also stated that I'm promoting a special election. This too is false. There's already a general election. If the community wanted this, it would be placed on that ballot. It also insinuated an urgency exists. Again, not accurate. My white paper is means to spark the very conversation this community should be having about this process. In fact, the community didn't have any input here. It was the council's decision to seek the charter, one that I supported. Again, I supported. The message also stated that I have chosen the only option to ensure there's not a mayoral election in 2028. Again, false. This option is set in state law. This law allows for the process to transition. I neither wrote the law nor had any input in its content. Lastly, the message insinuated that I am promoting changing the city government twice. If the community petitioned for the council manager form via the state statute process, the future charter could select to remain as council manager. There is no change because the charter is not the form. Let me please state again once for the record. I am not opposed to a change of government for Monett. I have held this position since 2021 when I first raised my hand to serve this community. I am not opposed to Monett writing a charter. This was proven by my interest in serving on the charter committee. The white paper I created is not a recommendation or opinion. A white paper is a document that provides detailed information on a specific issue, position, or solution. It is designed to inform readers about complex topics and help them understand or make decisions regarding those issues. I am not advocating for a special election of any sort at any time. I have not unilaterally chosen what Monett should adopt. I simply read state statute and offered what is already available, which would have been to be approved by the voters, not me. Likewise, I didn't choose the only option whereby the community would directly elect its mayor. Again, this is already available. My white paper was provided to offer an additional option, only an option, should the council and the community wish to consider it. The white paper outlines how current state statute would allow for this change, as I stated, using a much easier and quicker process. I am for a well thought out and planned change of government. I am for a more informed community so they can make the decision to the best of their ability and knowledge. This should not have been politicized.
All right, we'll take comments from the public on the two options. One, to do a council manager, and you don't think we should do a special election then?
Never did.
Okay, would anyone, so two options, move ahead with the charter process. I think we have plenty of evidence. I think we have, I've seen the momentum in the community. People are excited about doing this. We did fall short, okay? And remember, we tried to do this over a 6-week period that included the Thanksgiving and the Christmas holidays. And I think what we can do move forward is pass an ordinance, just like we did last November, to move ahead with a charter commission this next year. And if we pass it in April, and then what we do is we get that'll give us plenty of time to inform the candidates. It was kind of rushed this time. What are we trying to achieve here? And I think if we do that, get the petitions out in August, what that will allow us to do is plenty of time, because we just almost made it this time. And so if we do that time frame, we can move ahead with the charter of government and really get us a government that's about the future. So, comments?
I do agree that this white paper that you submitted at the last workshop was absolutely an example of an idea that could move forward. There was there was no conversation. Well, you're welcome, but there was no conversation on this whatsoever. It was placed in front of us on the vote at the time, at the 11th hour. So I totally do agree with the fact that, and also too, this council does want to see this charter move forward. We all voted for that back in November, and we appreciate the people who did step up, myself and this council included, to fill out those signature sheets from the city residents and the voters. Moving forward, if we do follow through with this, as it seems like we would be of benefit to do so, the
Follow through
with the charter commission and the August vote and all that stuff, right? So point is, I do believe that that's the forward direction thinking of this council. That's the momentum, forward position we want to take moving forward.
If you're asking a question, I can provide an answer. I'm going to say I don't like the fact that it sounds like this council is making that decision to move forward with a charter. This is a community decision.
That's exactly what I wanted to.
Okay. And I don't like it being framed that this council is dictating what the community will do. I've spoken to a number of people over the last 2 weeks. The mayor states that people are excited about it. Every single person I've talked to doesn't even know what the charter is or what it means. So I am in favor of a prolonged process. I stated it originally, that our original timeline was way too aggressive. I didn't find that there was enough time to educate the community of what it is. Never mind the candidates who would want to step forward to serve on the commission. But if this is what the community wants, absolutely.
Thank you. I have no.
All right, I want to introduce two documents here. They're in the packet. This one is from the MML. It's on forms of government for Missouri municipalities. If you want to serve on a charter commission and want to know what each of our 5 options here, and it will also include the pros and cons of each type of government. And when we went through the arguments here, we're listening to all the testimony starting last summer here on the council. We decided charter is a definitely way to go. But if you want to be on the charter commission, this is an absolute must read. It will give you an idea, and I think this is the principal vehicle by which we can inform the citizens of what we're trying to do here. All right, and the charter, hands down, is probably the way to go. The other thing that's in there is the white paper that Commissioner Gaspar has written, and I've written white papers, and I've read dozens of them. And one of the things it needs to do is it needs to tell you what the pros and cons are in here. It won't be in here. This is the document that you need to read. All right, because this gives you the pros and cons that's
So,
represented.
Mayor, may I ask you to speak?
I still have the floor.
Are you speaking to the room, or are you speaking to us? As this work session is our work session.
No, I'm sorry, I represent the people of Monett, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
All right.
Because you're criticizing.
I have the floor. I have the floor. Okay, now in the white paper, if you look here, it says other council manager governments here. And they're true, that is an option for us. And if the people decide that, I'm all for it, but the people need to decide using an elected charter to do that. And if you look at all these, you'll see a little HR, that means home rule, that means, and 6% of the people on there, or 60% of the cities that have chosen council matter, they went through the charter process. And that's why I'm such a strong advocate for the charter process. So, do you want to go with the charter process, or you want to do something else?
Would you like my written statement?
Go ahead and read it.
I read it already.
Okay, I don't need to read it.
am in favor.
Okay.
So I did not appreciate your message, both in your video and here today, that I'm not. Please stop with the false statements. Let's have a productive work session. You don't-
Gentlemen, can I say, this is a work session.
Yes, it is.
And it's a
our
work session for the council.
That's right.
And so we need to focus on the matter at hand and
What I
move to-
would like to do is come up with, Holly will, I think, I'd like to come up with an ordinance that goes just like we did last fall. I'd like to come up with an ordinance that moves ahead with the Charter Commission this year. That's what I'd like to do.
Is that a directive from council that we need to draft that and bring it to council?
Are there objections?
I'm not objecting, but I have questions. If that's the case, is this by the people, for the people, as you just mentioned?
Well, the by the people and for the people is we go ahead and let the people decide who's going to be on the Charter Commission, and then go ahead and write the charter, and then the people again get to vote on whether or not they like it. So each citizen gets two bites of the apple in this.
So are we gonna write this ordinance, the council's gonna write this ordinance?
It's already done, we just got to change the dates.
So then I'm clear, are we talking about a November election, and can we put that on a November election?
Yeah, if it's initiated by if the charter is initiated for the vote as a special election, it's a different number of petitioners. But if it is drafted by ordinance from the body, then it doesn't matter. we're still on the same numbers for signatures for the petition because of the previous November. Do remember, you have a timeline of 1 year. So you would have to then have another special election, just so we're clear, unless you're comprising that time with a August election, asking the question and having the 13 candidates, and then you want to do the following April for the commissioners. That's a tighter timeline. You could also do a November vote asking the question and then proposing it either in August or November of the following year.
The thing that's different about the charter, because the charter is one in which people get elected, it's very representative, so the charter is the only form of government which you could put on the ballot by ordinance. All the rest is just by petitions. Is that correct? I think that's correct. That's the only one you can do that. Yeah, you have two options.
Yeah, I mean, for the size of you're third class, so you're only gonna change to third class. We're out of classes. You guys are at the top, and then there's charter. So it would just be moving to a different type. I will say that in review of the statutes regarding a third class city manager council form of government and what you currently have, the commission form of government, there's a lot of the same language. They track very readily. So it would not be a big leap or a big change, right? The biggest change is that it's 5 members, and everyone has said the number of members is desired, right, to increase. That's why you have all the extra seats up there. So you could have that through making that change. Through making the change, it's one and done vote to go to a council, third class council, city manager form of government.
You mean statutory city? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about what you're moving, your proposal in the white paper was third class city manager council form of
Just
government.
the statutory.
So,
Not
yeah,
the
controlled by the statutes,
Correct.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Again, it was
so,
not a proposal.
no, I'm sorry, I missed, I
understand.
Yeah,
Everybody else is doing it. Why not?
And I don't mean that. What I mean is that's one form, and in taking that form, it's not a big step. It's not a big leap. So it's not a big lift is what I'm saying. That's the difference between the two. It is a pre-drafted, once you have one vote, you are done. Now you make the changes and you have the re-election of all of the members, so it's a body of 5. You are blessed because you have a neighbor, Aurora, who has that. So if you want to see how it's working, you can see that. You're also blessed with a lot of home rule charter cities to look at. You have the commission form. The only other commission form who jumped out of the boat and left you alone was West Plains. And you guys talked to them, and they've been great to share their journey with you. Ozark is going through the journey now, and Nixa and Republic and Springfield all are charter cities. So is Joplin, Carthage. You've got a lot of neighbors to look at.
So if I may, you spoke about us visiting, potentially visiting Aurora to see what how they operate. And I have to caution everybody is that just because they're not a home rule city, you can't look at the way their council operates and determine that's home rule.
No, they're not home rule. They're council city
I'm saying,
manager,
or
yes.
not. What I'm getting at is you don't look at the way the council does business and
Oh,
say, well,
correct.
they're doing it because they're not home rule.
Correct.
It all involves the state statute telling us what we can do versus what the state statute is not saying you cannot do.
Correct.
Right? That's
Correct.
the only flip between going from statutory to home rule, is that now the state statutes cannot tell you within parameters, they cannot tell you, as the city, how to operate.
I think the key thing that Holly brought out is the charter gives you a step forward, whereas if we do what Aurora is, it's kind of it's kind of a lateral move. I think that's what I heard you say, is that the charter gives us much more. And it prepares us for the future because there are problems that we don't even have yet. And we're gonna need the flexibility to do that. And it'd be taxes, business license, nuisance, which we don't even have yet. But that's why most people, or most cities, go to the council manager, is they use the charter process because it gives us all the power we can possibly get from Missouri Constitution.
And I will say,
I don't disagree.
when you look at charter cities that have been around for a long time and charter cities that are new, what you will see is the older charter cities are all about what the council can't do
Yes.
and what a city cannot do. They're very restrictive, right? And in the newer ones, you are seeing, here's how our government is going to be formed, here's the basics, but we're going to put the rest of it in ordinances. So that's more of a trend, and I'm talking, 50, 60 years difference.
Yeah, and so that's a really good point. I raised that because I have West Charters right here and West Plains Charter right here. And I've been just comparing the charter to state statute for chapter 77 and 78 and our city code. And I'm highlighting the fact that many items in their charter are covered by existing state statute and/or we have it in our code already. I'm not completed with that analysis, but to your point is that the charters, now Neosho's is immense. It's very, very large, very detailed.
It's older.
And and that's why I'm looking at those things and I'm saying, shouldn't those be ordinances? Couldn't they be ordinances? Because the process, this is not a cautionary tale. Once it's in the charter, it takes a year to make a change to that charter.
Correct.
Right? It's going to go to the voter. If it's in an ordinance, then it's much more nimble. Those ordinances can be changed through a regular council meeting on a monthly basis. The charters, West Plains is 22 pages long.
Yeah.
That's long, in my opinion. Okay, but again, we're getting down into the minutia. This is what the Charter Commission is going to be set and asked and tasked to do. I guess my opinion would be that the future Charter Commission really think long and hard about what should be in the charter and what shouldn't be in the charter.
And I will be counseling
Thank you.
against
Yeah.
putting a lot, because that envisioned idea of becoming a charter city was you now have leveled up to the legislature.
Yeah.
And so we've got to protect ourselves from a bad legislature. And so there were a lot of mechanisms put in that then prevent your city from being as nimble as you would desire to be.
Thank you.
And then making those changes in those cities who've already had those adopted, it's difficult, right? Because you're like, well, but the old charter said this. And as proven by the fact that you guys would probably all agree, and I think your citizens would agree, you've held on to commission longer than what works for this size of city.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the only reason you're left in the ship is it just hasn't started moving again. I would say if you converted to third-class city manager council form of government, you would gain 5 members.
Right.
And I do believe one of your desires is to have more representation
That's correct.
on the legislature. I don't know that you're wanting to go to 9 and 13 or any of those numbers. But yes, you need to have very verbose, and that would be a task that our office would help with, is thinking through in that charter process what things you want and what things you don't want. You have the benefit of seeing there's quite a few cities in the last 2 or 3 years who have had charter amendments. So you see, and that was one of the biggest things they talked about with West Plains. Here's the things we wish we had done. And so those are the things that in the charter commission, with those charter commission candidates making that proposal. Now, those proposals can be one charter to the voters, or it can be a couple of options. But yes, those 13 candidates carry a lot of weight. They are picking. They are, as you said, they're those people way back when who drafted a constitution that we all hold near and dear to our hearts. So it will be that. It will be what defines Monett.
As a point of record, the city annex was not built to accommodate future councils. There are 7 chairs because the airport commission has 7 members and the planning and zoning has 7 members. So I just want to make sure, as a point of record, staff wasn't anticipating 5 members of a council or 7. This is built to accommodate the city commissions.
This is really what, the 13, if you have a charter commission, they get to decide all this.
Yes.
All right, it's representative. And I think those are tough questions. And when you get 13 people in a room, and there's no doubt that Monett can produce 13 people that are willing and able to go to serve on the charter commission. There's no doubt in my mind.
Can you reference the timeline moving forward one more time?
If you go to charter, you have to ask the question. So you have to pick an election that the question and the 13 candidates come from. Then you have a 1-year time period of that candidacy that they sit in the office of commissioners, and the charter then comes to a vote.
Correct.
So if you've got, I mean, you could call a special election. I wouldn't recommend that. You're 2 counties. So you could do a special election as chosen by you guys, so by ordinance as opposed to by petition. If it's by petition, it's a different set of numbers. But if you guys do it as you did it before, you could have it on the ballot in August, you could have it on the ballot in November, you could have it on the ballot in April of 2027.
So you're referring to it as a special election because it's falling outside the municipal election cycle, but it's not truly a special election that we would incur costs, would it? Because the election is occurring. The August and November elections are occurring.
Yes, you are going to have the cost of the ballot cost. I don't ever dictate what election commissions do, but you could have an outside the time period vote. I would not recommend that with a 2.
A special election would be outside the August, November, or April.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm saying, but if we had chosen to go with the November election, there's no cost in.
There is cost.
There is always
Yeah,
cost.
yeah, there's cost
Because it's
anytime.
outside of municipal.
Yes. Well, you
Well,
still
there-
pay in municipal.
Yeah,
What-
there's
what I reckon-
cost to the county anytime we put a question or an issue on the ballot.
I was not aware of
So
that.
the city has to pay the cost
Okay.
for the ballot, printing, and all of that.
And understand this is a big ballot because you have at least 13, and then there's the issue about write-ins. So it's a big in size. You know, the question is pretty short, but it's big in size because of the candidacy.
Well, what I'm advocating is we pass it in April, an ordinance to move ahead with the charter, just like we did last year. And then we actually elect, the people decide whether they want a charter, and the 13 candidates in the April 2027 election. I'm not advocating special election.
Okay. That's
Okay?
what I was trying to,
That's what I'm looking for.
2027.
And that way, we've got plenty of time to get candidates, inform them, and then educate the public. And so with petitions, you know, just like we did last time, the petitions available to get their 68 names, it'd be in probably August, September timeframe. You still file in December, and that way in 2027, you've got your candidates, whether you want the charter or not, and then you've got your 13 candidates that you voted.
So that I'm clear, and staff has clear directive, you're asking us to put together an ordinance for the first reading in April of 2026. Second reading would be May of 2026, so that this would go on the ballot in April of 2027.
That's correct.
Okay.
I can support that, absolutely.
Yes, we voting?
No,
No.
no, 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 no.
It's just a
Yeah.
It's a kumbaya moment, though.
Chose my words carefully.
Yep.
Okay, any of these more discussion?
Anybody?
Okay, so we'll move ahead with charter ordinance, final reading in May. All right, if you are here about the government, changing the government, we're done talking about that today. Unless someone would like to come over and speak.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you have to open it up for public
Yeah.
hearing, because you said that you did.
He did.
Take away the
Yeah.
voice of the people.
Why he was, okay. Is there anybody,
Anyone would like to come and make comments about changing government now? If you come over here, you get your 3 minutes. Be respectful. Well, hearing none,
Yeah, you
let's
can
go-
close it.
Yeah, we'll go to the next
Okay.
item on the agenda. Okay, item B.
this is the second reading of the ordinance approving the historic downtown Monett redevelopment plan. This is involving chapter 353. We had missed a notice deadline of 45 days. That's why we couldn't approve this at the regular council meeting this month. So we asked council if we could bring the second reading today, and this is a vote. So we're ready to move forward unless council has questions.
I don't have any questions, but I just want to make note that all the structure and tables and all that stuff is in this month's packet that the city clerk put together. If you want to look at the scheduled period for the monies and et cetera, it's all in this packet. Very informative, so I advise you to load it on your internet from the city of Monett. That's it.
I move that we have a second reading in consideration of bill number 9125.
Second.
Call the roll.
Mayor Randy Burke.
Yes.
Commissioner King Gaspar.
Aye.
Commissioner Darren Davina.
Aye.
Okay, now we need a motion to approve.
You gotta read it.
Oh, gotta
Do
read
the
it.
second reading.
Yep,
Public comment.
that's true.
Second reading and consideration of approval of ordinance number 9125, an ordinance approving the historic downtown Monett redevelopment plan.
Main discussion, I mean, we've been working on this for a while.
For what?
And
But-
we've already, the commission, we've already voted on who's gonna be on the corporation.
Right,
That means-
and you approved that resolution contingent on this approval. So that mechanism is in place. We just need to set up the first meeting and we'll have all of the paperwork ready for guidelines, abatement agreements, et cetera, and we'll be ready to take off. This is super exciting. Can't wait.
Gotta open it up for public hearing, if there is any.
Yeah, are there any comments from
Comment.
the
Public comment.
audience
Hearing.
Yeah,
on
public comment.
chapter 353?
Sorry.
How long do we need to hear before we call it a hearing?
It's public comments.
Public comments.
I spoke wrong. I was corrected.
Okay, have we done everything? we
Yes.
can do?
Yes.
Now we need to vote, or we need a motion to approve.
I move we approve ordinance 9125. Have a second.
Second.
Call the roll.
Mayor Randy Burke.
Yes.
Commissioner King Gaspar.
Aye.
Commissioner Darren Davina.
Aye.
Yeah, on
I'm
behalf.
excited. This is huge.
Yeah, on behalf of the city staff, I want to say thank you all as council, because I think this really is a move forward to help redevelop our downtown. It's now really on the property owners, if they'll take advantage of it, and other organizations to promote it. But I think the city has done everything we can to make sure that revitalization takes place in downtown.
Mayor.
Yeah, downtown Monett. So thank you all very much for that.
Thank you for your work on that.
You bet.
I think your hair was not gray. when-
No, yeah, I had dark hair before that all started.
Liar.
I had a full head of hair when I started. All right, let's go on to item C.
This council, again, it's not normal that we take votes in our work sessions, but there is some urgency on this resolution. This is an opportunity for us to clear and begin the grubbing process on the north section of Lowe's Lane, and we would use funding from the Lowe's Lane project. This will open up TIF number 3. The urgency here is that we have to have this work done prior to the end of March because of the habitats for endangered bat species in Missouri. So if we can get this approved and moving forward, we can make that deadline.
So serious question.
Yep.
What is the definition of grubbing?
Taking out the trees and
Okay.
the stumps.
Yeah,
Bat homes.
we can't do this during the bat breeding season.
That's
which
correct.
starts in March.
I
Yeah,
see.
and there's 2 wooden structures that are in the right of way
Excuse me.
that will be removed as well.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Are the bats there now?
We don't know,
We
but we
don't
don't
know.
have to know
We don't have to know.
until it's mating season. Bats do dictate when you do major projects in the state of Missouri.
Interesting.
So that's why we're bringing it to council today. If you will, if it's approved, then we'll move
Will
forward.
there be additional movement of land after, for the TIF? as it
Oh,
moves
yes,
forward?
absolutely. Yeah, there's water infrastructure, sewer, roads. This won't complete the road. All this is laying out the road bed.
I move that we have a reading and consideration of bill number 9138.
9139, sorry,
9138.
9.
8.
Oh, mine says 9, I apologize, Commissioner. Okay, I'll second the reading and consideration of 9138.
All right, any discussion?
If you'll read it, and I'll vote on it.
But
It's a resolution.
to vote on the reading.
Yeah, it's a resolution, so we don't have to have it read, only ordinances. So if you'll change your motion for approval.
Sure, because we've already had the discussion. so,
Yes.
I move that we approve bill number 9138.
Thank you, Mr. McKay.
You bet.
Second.
Okay,
Call roll.
Mayor Randy Burke.
Yes.
Commissioner Ken Gaspar.
Aye.
Commissioner Darren Davina.
Aye.
thank you all very much. I appreciate that.
All right, next item.
This is an item that we discussed at our last work session concerning fire recovery program. Chief Pennington, if you'll come up, have a seat. Chief's going to speak to this. There was some questions last work session, and he's going to clarify anything that you might have.
Commissioners, Mayor, City Administrator, thank you for having me. I know we talked about this last month, and Commissioner Gaspar said he would like to have more time to think about this and discussion. This program that I brought to you guys is going to help the fire department and the city with workload. We'll start, if it's passed or discussion here and passed, we would be able to start billing non-residential folks that live in the city or that don't live in the city. So this will help out for motor vehicle accidents, hazmat, technical rescue, water rescues, any kind of stuff that our guys are putting their life on the line for. So I would recommend that I would like to see us adopt the City of Aurora's ordinance if we can. And then, I don't know if you guys got any
Well,
questions about this.
the one thing I think is important, people are not gonna get a bill from the city of Monett, is that correct?
No, sir. This company directly bills their insurance.
Okay.
Yeah,
And since the Monett taxpayers already pay for, that we're excluding them, it's for
Right.
those from out of town, is that correct?
that's right. The only thing that I would like to add in there, if this is city ordinance, is if it is a criminal action, that's the only way we would be able to bill a citizen. So if do you guys have your packet still?
Yes, sir.
So like an accident involving criminal action like drugs under the influence or any commission of a crime. That's what the city of Aurora put in their ordinance. That's the only way they would bill a resident that lives in the city of Monett.
Is it upon conviction?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. We'd have to get clarity on that.
Yeah.
My guess is so that it can be part of the,
Restitution.
restitution order
Yeah,
from
yeah, I
the
get
court
that.
with the conviction. So it should be before conviction, because restitution orders only have power at final judgment. Otherwise, your court loses. So it's to submit as part of the case. So it would probably come into play at the point of charging, no different than when we recoup funds from the cost for DUI assessments.
Okay.
So when they go before the judge for a conviction or not, that will also be part of what the judge is looking at, correct?
Has to be part of the order, yes.
Okay.
And that's something we could work with the city clerk with, or the
City attorney.
city attorney with.
Yeah, just
sorry.
to have it clarified.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
This would also be like arson fires as well. So if somebody inside the city of Monett decided to set their house on fire for some godly reason, then we could bill them for that
Well.
situation as well.
Yeah.
Okay, we know Aurora's got it, but this is not uncommon. This is pretty common, is it not?
Everybody around us has pretty much got this.
All right.
Since Aurora's got it, how has it been beneficial?
Greg Hurd, they love it. It also helps them with their budget as well, because they have a smaller budget than I do. So when they go to these car wrecks, they're allowed to bill for motor vehicle accidents that are non-citizens for the city of
And
Aurora.
the person involved in these incidents, are they under the assumption that it's covered with their insurance?
Well, I mean, everybody's got car insurance, so that's,
That's my point.
yeah. I mean, when I was chief for Monett Rural Fire District, we started this program and it helped us out a lot. You know, it replaced our tools, helped us with our maintenance for extrication, bought all the floor dry, the RU2, all the stuff that we use for motor vehicle accidents. That way it wasn't putting a workload on the taxpayers' dollars. You know, we were billing people that were coming to Monett.
So the same goes for Monett residents when they're in Aurora and something happens.
Same way.
And
If
is
you
the-
go to Aurora
is it-
getting an accident, you're gonna get billed.
Is it the at-fault person of the accident who?
So the
insurance-
company, what they do is they'll go through, what I do is I'll take the report, take the license plate, work with the PD, and we will send this to the fire rescue, or fire recovery USA. Then they are the people that do all the legwork.
Has PD considered the program similar? Is this something that they?
I don't know if there's anything available for PD. Yeah.
I don't think there's any
Yeah.
applicable for that.
Yeah, it's real, this program is really, it's not a revenue stream, it's just cost recovery.
Exactly.
And
Because-
it helps us defray the cost.
Yeah, because
Okay,
we're-
for emergency services.
Correct.
So it's-
Exactly.
We're not
Correct.
gonna make any money.
No.
It's just, we're gonna make, what, it will restore some money for some, to really keep you going. Not to
Exactly.
keep you going, but safety and that sort of thing,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
And it's free to us. The city doesn't have to pay anything.
Well, that's not entirely true, right? Because they're taking their cut.
Yeah, we
They're
have,
taking their cut. They
Yeah, we have
take
to pay a
22%
percentage.
and then they
There's
cut
no-
us the rest.
There's no
Yeah.
outlay, it's just we receive the net benefit.
Correct,
that is correct.
yes.
And is this the responsibility of the PD, city clerk, or the administration of the city to keep the information from the incidents for billing? Is this something that you?
No,
No,
the
it's-
company will bill them.
Yeah, this is strictly on the fire department.
They get the incident report from you, right?
Yes, so when we
And then
complete
the
our
determination
reports,
of the value of the incident goes to them, not us.
right,
It's based on that schedule, it's in our packet.
Yeah.
For each incident,
Depends on what
there's
it
a
is.
dollar value associated.
Bigger incidents, you get more money, right?
Yeah.
Okay, is there
All right, it
any,
makes sense, but unfortunately, we all know, there's always two sides to the story.
There is.
That, yeah, yes, it'll be a boon for us in the sense of getting some costs recouped. But the other side of that pendulum swing is that insurance rates start increasing for all of us. So, but I get it.
Okay.
Let's put it on the agenda.
Yeah, so we'll get city attorney to look at the Aurora ordinance, and we'll get that drafted, and first reading will be March, second reading would be April.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All
Chief.
right, thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
Next item, please.
This is a discussion item. Doug Potts is at a conference today, so he wasn't able to be here, but Holly, city attorney, will take this. They've been working on this for a while, so Holly, I'll turn it over to you.
The concern is, again, this is much like what you just spoke about, it's recoupment. There are people in the system who cost the system more. So essentially, built within a permit fee, it's not a moneymaker. This is the cost of the city to figure out whether or not you're complying and to review the plan and to make all of the inspections. However, there are some out there who call you out and they're not ready because they're just hoping maybe you'll pass and say let it go. So then you got to come back. Well, that's an extra cost to the city that you currently do not pass on. So I know ahead of time as the permittee, I know what I'm expected to have ready and complete when I call out for an inspection. If I choose not to have that completed and call out for an inspection, who should be responsible for that cost? Right now, you eat it. Right now, your department has to go back to that property multiple times. And so what we're looking for is adding in, which is very common, so it's adding an extra layer within your building code, which is 500-030, and it is adding in a requirement that it only provides for the first inspection. They will figure out how much cost each inspection is. That's to get in the car, to go there, the time, and the documentation. And so that will be what that fee is. And you must pay that fee before you get your next inspection. If you don't put that in there, you come to the end where they're like, I want an occupation permit or an occupancy and certificate, and you're saying, but you didn't pay the bill. And they're like, they won't let me move in my house because of some silly bill, right? So it has that. So I've drafted it, but what we're asking you to do is make those who are not being responsible, they're making a choice and they're having to pay for that choice.
Yeah.
It's not adding in an extra cost. It's an extra cost you guys have been absorbing on your own. And so those who are compliant, those who are the good builders, they really are not getting rewarded.
There's no differentiation between
Yeah.
one who's doing it right. and-
It's not like we're hiding it. These inspections, the majority are good, but the ones who aren't are the ones who you'll do 5 or 6 inspections. Well, can you come back tomorrow? No, because the good people have already had theirs for months because they work on a timeline and they make their timeline. And we all know that through the contracts we've had to deal with. So that's all we're going to be asking for.
So this is specifically for the process of inspections, and that there's nothing
Yes,
else included?
that's
in
the
this?
only thing that I know of that we're looking at in the fee structure. It's adding in, yours is a per square foot fee, and so what it would add in is just language that it includes a inspection. If there is a failure and a re-inspection, that re-inspection will cost X dollars, and they've got to keep that worksheet. So this is not making any money. This is absolutely recouping the cost for that extra inspection.
Are there any provisions, either in our code or in this proposal, that would, for lack of a better phrase, shut down a construction project?
You always have the authority of a stop work order. At any point in time, they go beyond, so they can't conceal.
Okay.
And that's with problem contractors, that's an option that you will see. So I think he told me I can go ahead, right? So now I'm gonna pour, and you didn't look at the electrical underneath, or you didn't look at the appropriate rebar, and you didn't let me see that you approved it. And so you've got to come back. You may have to do tear out. That's all in the code because you have the International Building Code 2018. And so all of those provisions are already in there. It's just calling out the cost.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
So this becomes effective, should we approve an ordinance become effective immediately, or is there some kind of
Well, you always have a 10-day
10 days,
delay. But I would recommend for ease with everyone that you pick a date in which, and that's how I wrote it. I already sent a draft last night. I would have a future date so that, and I would have it probably first of the month so that once it's passed, then everybody knows. And so you've got some time. If you maybe are making choices about your abilities as a contractor, maybe you don't call them out until you really got it done.
Are there any major administrative changes to the staff? for
No.
this? Okay.
No.
Inspector would come back and indicate that it was a failed inspection, so any new inspections called for. Now, we could require that they prepay for that new inspection. If you want to make that a requirement before the inspection, that would be an option. Time is money. That's why I wrote it where you must pay for that inspection before you get the next inspection, because you do want to be builder friendly, right? And we get in situations where this sub was going to come on this day, and so I need to get to the next, and I recognize that, and that does sometimes put a burden between I've received the funds and okayed for the scheduling. That's why I said I put in the language that you don't get your next inspection until you've paid it. So you don't see a buildup at the end where you've got 8 inspections you've got to pay for.
Other than the obvious things that any builder should want to abide by this so that they can.
This is not out of the norm of the industry.
Right, but my question is more on the lines of, is the CO the only incentive for the builder to do things right? Do we ever instill a lien on the property if those fees are not paid? No. Or is just the CO it?
Yeah, and that's the power, because if I've got the building and I can't be in it, but it at a preliminary stage in the building, you don't get to go to the next step. Right. So that's why you don't see a lot of organizations utilizing a ticket system with building, because I've got the power of the stop work order, and that, time is money. Ooh, that hurts, right? So, but also I can't get to step B until I've completed step A, and it's all stepped out. So that's why you do not see that type of act by a city. You don't have a lot of ticket writing. It's within the cost, and this helps you encourage better behavior of builders.
Thank you.
And then you've written an ordinance, right?
Yep.
So it'll be presented in March and then April.
Yep.
Okay.
What would you want?
Effective date of May 1.
May
Okay,
1
is that what you're looking
what
for?
I would,
Yep.
yeah.
Any public comment? Can I open up to public comment? There's builders and.
No, yeah, this is just work session, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get comments when we do the ordinances.
And that's really all we have on that one, right?
Yeah. They said yes. We don't ask them anymore.
As I informed council, we've added council comments in case there's anything that you want updates on any projects that have been approved and moving forward. Yes, sir.
Chapel Drive.
Chapel Drive, yes. So we've received approval from the railroad for us to move forward. We have a meeting next Tuesday with the Chrissy Grant people to make sure that we have all of our documentation in line so that we can send out for bids. So hopefully by next Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be able to open up or to let the project, yeah.
Okay. So that's the very last step. the Christmas
That is the last step. Then we'll send it out for bids.
grant. Okay, that's all I've got for right now.
I don't have a question, but more just a remark. I see Superintendent Dunn here. Thank you for starting the work on the Dunn Street Stormwater Project. Kale, sorry, between 9th and 10th Streets. That project is a few decades overdue.
We had to put that on hold for a little bit because of equipment failure, but we'll be right back to it as soon as we can.
Yeah, very good. That's exciting. That's
Yep.
very exciting on many levels, so thank you.
Mr. Dunn was in my office yesterday, and he had received a package from Jefferson City, and it was Mitch Boggs congratulating he and his crew on the entrance to North Park. So congratulations. That was very good.
I see a future sign that they've
Well, if it's a sign, it better say City of Monett. So we're all here for the
We can put it in small print.
Yeah, okay.
Any other comments from council?
I don't have any.
I don't have any either.
All right.
Birthday to Mike.
Huh?
Happy birthday, Mike.
Oh, happy birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Have any more?
There we go.
Okay.
All right, we have any motions to go into closed session?
I make a motion that we go into closed session notice. Council will convene in a closed session pursuant to 610.021, New State Statute subsequent 1, 2, and 3 discuss legal matters, real estate, personal matters. In attendance, we'd like to have the city clerk, city administrator, and HR.
Just as a clarification, it's
Well,
not, it's not for,
Yeah, it's all those, yeah. Never mind.
Norman,
Molly, rest.
Yep.
I'm done.
Molly, rest. Second. Call the roll.
Mayor Lindenberg,
Go, Cuz.
Commissioner Gaspar,
No.
Commissioner Darren DeVito,
I just have to bring it.
All right, go into closed session.